All right, getting started. I'm going to start with the easy thing first, and I'm going to do the Aurora and Maleficent silhouettes. So I just rolled out some black fondant, pretty decent thickness. I don't know how much exactly what the thickness is. And I just cut out the template and put it on top of the black fondant, use my X-Acto knife. Right now I'm taking my veining tool and putting some of the details on there, and now I'm taking my black pearl dust and I'm just giving it a very pretty shimmer and shine because y'all know I love my pearl dust. Next I'm moving on to Maleficent, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did for Aurora. All right, moving on to Aubrey. I cut out my template and laid it on a pretty thick piece of fondant. You want your base layer with these templates to be one piece because sometimes you pick them up and you can break them. So I cut her out, and then what I did is I mixed some food coloring with some white food coloring and some vodka, and this is, I'm going to paint the background and make it her hair color. If you look at the picture of her hair, it's kind of like the bottom's like bluish purplish with some streaks of pink. So that's what I'm going to try to accomplish. And so that way as you layer your pieces, there's like no white spots like on, you know, in the background of it. So I'm going to start working on that, and now I'm painting the top of her hair a really pretty pink color. She had a lot of pink, Aubrey does, and I'm just mixing that pink in with that blue and that purple. I think I'm gonna paint the cake these colors as well with like some black at the bottom. I'm trying to add some darker blues as well. So now what I'm doing is I'm cutting her face out. Now you want to try to keep all your pieces intact when you cut out your templates, because you never know when you have to go back to resize or something. So I cut out her head and her neck, and out of this like flesh, because I know she has more of like a darker tone, so I'm laying her head down, and now I have a yellow piece of fondant and I'm going to cut out her crown, and then I'm gonna put that I think I put that off to the side for later. And so I'm just cutting that, and of course every time you cut with the X-Acto knife, your edges are going to be a little rough, so please make sure you smooth them edges down the best to your ability. Now I put the crown on, and I put some of that metallic gold on the crown just to give it some shimmer, and I will add another coat later on, but I want that coat to dry first. So now I'm cutting out some more strands of her hair. Again, rough cut, smooth down those edges. And then you see how I'm using my template, and I'm putting my template back on top of the fondant piece. That way I know everything's gonna fit perfectly. I'm taking my veining tool, giving it some dimension. Now I'm doing the other side of her hair. The thing that sucks though with the X-Acto knives is I had to keep wiping the tip of it because this pink fondant was very soft, and I had to keep, it was like getting gummy on the point. But yeah, so there I'm just adding some texture, some definition, and you kind of see it already starting to come together. If you need like extra pieces, I think I needed an extra piece and fill in some holes, that's fine too. And now basically I'm just working one by one. I'm cutting out bits and pieces of the template. Really look at the picture that you're working with and think of how you can layer everything. Obviously work from the bottom up. So like if you have a piece that's wearing a jacket, start with the jacket, then start with the button and then the pocket, and then, you know, work your way up, you know. So, and that's basically what I was doing. You'll see what pieces, you'll see me use the template to put back on. You'll see me use the pieces to make sure that they all fit in the right areas. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding some black pearl dust, but it wasn't really dark enough. So what I'm doing is I took some black food coloring powdered food coloring mixed with the black pearl dust, and I'm just going over that darker color, and I went over the pink a little bit because if you look at all her pictures, her dress is like more darker. So I just kind of wanted to resemble that and kind of capture that. And I put some rosy pearl dust on her. As you see, I keep referencing back to my picture. I'm taking my fine paintbrush and I'm adding all them little details. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the whole character so it looks like it was actually drawn. So that's what I'm doing here, and I try to be as neat and as perfect as I can be, but it kind of, like I said, it kind of gives it that drawn look, that cartoony look. So I think it came out pretty good.